In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this little RGB LED pocket light. This is the Andycine R2 Micro RGB light. Full disclosure, Andycine did send this light over to me for review. They also sent this little tripod, which I figured, which I guess they thought that I could feature in this video. However, they don't get any input in this video, nor do they get to see it before I publish it. I'm going to try to take care of my cat problem here. It's relatively compact. It looks like it's about, 2 inches on a side and then about an inch thick. And weight-wise, it's pretty light. I'm sure that there's measurements that I could potentially put up on the screen for you. It's all plastic, but it feels relatively durable and sturdy. It's really easy to use. So there's a power button on the back that doubles as a mode button. There's an LED panel and then a USB-C charging port. And then on the top, there are 2 dials, one for brightness and one to cycle through color temperatures or the different colors in the HSL mode. On 3 sides, there is a shoe mount. And then on the bottom, there is this little, clip thing. The light comes with the shoe accessory that has a 1/4-20 on the bottom. And it has a little clip here that just slots into the bottom of the light, which allows you to put it on a tripod or on your shoe adapter on your camera. Since we're here, I'm just going to give you the major con of this light, and basically the reason that I couldn't really recommend it to you if you want to mount it to something, because this latch is extremely weak. It doesn't really lock in at all. So the light doesn't actually, it won't be able to fit on anything via that 1/4-20 or via that shoe mount. So if that's important to you, then I can just go ahead and say, don't bother with this light. But that doesn't make this completely worthless, because this also has a magnet in it. You can obviously magnetize this to metal surfaces. So if you need that, if you need to mount it to something like that, it will slide. But if something is stationary, it stays pretty sturdy. It's not the strongest magnet in the world. It doesn't take a lot of force to get it off, but you can see that it can hang upside down, no problem. So there's another way that you can utilize this light. And another nice thing is that it stands up on a flat surface. And if you do want to just put it on a tripod and you have the tripod on a flat surface, you can just use this. Just know that it can easily fall off if you try to move it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. So a long press of the power button turns it on and off, and then a short press will go through the different modes. So here is the effects mode, and there are 20 different effects, and you just cycle through them utilizing the CT button or the CT switch on the top. I'm not going to show you what they all do, but there's a lot of them, and you can also change the brightness of each of the modes utilizing the dimmer switch up here. Then there's the CCT mode or the bicolor mode. And this is really nice because it goes from 2500 Kelvin all the way up to, I believe it's 9000 Kelvin, which is a pretty big range. And the other really great thing is that you can adjust them in increments of 10. So you have the capability of really fine-tuning or dialing in the exact color temperature that you want. And it's dimmable from 0 all the way up to 100 in increments of 1. In the HSL mode, you've got the brightness dial, and then the CT dial obviously changes the colors, and it goes from 0 to 359. So this is the light at 8% brightness, so I'll just kind of give you an idea of how bright it gets. Make sure I'm going the right way. There we go. There, that's 100%. And I'm going to switch it over to CCT mode. This is 8960 Kelvin at 12% brightness. And yeah, that's 100% brightness. I did a battery test on this. I just set it to 100% power and just check to see how long it would last, and it goes about just a little bit over 2 hours at full power. And the nice thing about that is that the light stays at maximum power until the battery dies, so it doesn't dim at all. And it also takes about 2 hours to fully charge from a dead battery. So that's pretty much it in terms of functionality. In terms of where I would use this, I've always wanted to get a little pocket light like this, but it's not always like the most exciting thing. I don't know, there's always been other things that I guess prioritize, but there's been innumerable occasions where I had wished that I had one of these. One of the most common ones that I've run across in doing jobs is trying to utilize a practical light, like the little lamp I have there in the background. I'm actually using another similar kind of pocket light So I just took the bulb out of that practical light and stuck the pocket light down in there. And that way you can control exactly how bright you want that light to be, that practical light, so that it's not too hot in your scene. Another really nice application for these little lights is for doing product B-roll or even little like thumbnails or something for your videos. I really like this one because given that it's so small, you can actually hide it like in your scene. You can hide it behind objects to give you like a little color contrast or a rim light or a backlight on something and have it like really close, obviously, but just being hidden because it is very tiny. I mean, you could lay it down and have it be shooting light up, you know, and have something that's completely blocking it. So just to wrap up, in terms of pros, I like the range of color temperatures in the CCT mode. It's really nice for utilizing in a practical light scenario like the one that I'm using currently in this video. The HSL mode or the RGB mode is great for doing B-roll and thumbnails, just any kind of product photos or product B-roll that you want to do. The magnet is nice. It's not super strong, but like I showed you, it is strong enough to hang. And as long as you are relatively gentle with it and don't move the surface around that it's stuck to, it should stay in place. I guess it would be nice if it was a little bit stronger. In terms of negatives, I guess the magnet could be a little bit stronger. And the other big one is just the included little clip that attaches it to a shoe mount or a 1/4-20 just doesn't work. That's a pretty big oversight from Andycine. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comments. If you want to see any more videos about lighting, maybe check out this playlist, which is somewhere on the screen next to my head. And as always, I appreciate you watching this video, and maybe I'll see you in another one. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, my best advice to you is not to have any cats.